There is growing backlash against a wave of anti-Semitism on college campuses and in other public forums in the aftermath of Hamas's terror attack against Israeli civilians. Now, at least two major donors cutting ties with Harvard University over what they call the school's failure to condemn Hamas. The University of Pennsylvania facing similar criticism over its response to the actions of student groups. Some law firms even rescinding job offers to students who signed letters blaming Israel for the massacre of its own people. And our next guest is calling it a clarifying moment. I want to bring in NewsNation media contributor Steve Krakauer. He's the author of the book Uncovered: How the Media Got Cozy with Power, Abandoned Its Principles, and Lost the People. Thank you for joining us, Steve. This is really like a disturbing and fascinating topic. I was just talking to a friend yesterday that this war, it's like exposed a lot of people for who they really are. I was in New York City last week. The pro-Palestinian protest was much larger than the pro-Israel protest. We've seen what's been happening at all the prestigious college campuses. And you write in your new op-ed, don't shut down the anti-Semites. You want them to be able to speak freely. Explain what you mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I agree. It is a scary time. And for that particular reason, I don't support this at all. I support the Israel side completely, but I think that it's a clarifying moment because we want to see this uncovered. We don't want these things living in the shadows, these points of view. If this is really what these people believe, we want to hear it. We want to know it. And then we want to act accordingly, potentially in one direction or the other. And I do think, as you mentioned, certain law firms, big donors to colleges, entrepreneurs saying they don't want to hire these people. There's a backlash going, and these are people, we look at the donations from some of these law firms, you look at some of the political points of views of these CEOs, these are not conservatives. These are liberals, these are people who are generally Democrats, who are seeing this and are so turned off by it and are making choices with their wallets, they're making choices with what they want to do with their companies, and that's the free market at work. That is what we want. So we don't want to shut this down. We don't want to censor these people. We don't want to suspend them. We just want to hear what they have to say so we can act accordingly, because it's a scary time, but it's much better to hear it. It's much better to allow the free speech and then make decisions based on what we're hearing.
Yeah, it makes sense. 2024, our Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy tweeting in part on this topic, the Harvard student groups who co-signed the anti-Israel letter are simple fools, but it is not productive for companies to blacklist kids. He compares it actually to cancel culture, and college kids can be pretty dumb. Then they grow up, they change their views. I mean, what do you think about that argument? Is it fair to blacklist them because, maybe they're just trying to like blend in with the group in college and then they come to their senses later?
Yeah, look, I think that most people, even in Bill Ackman, whose response was the one that really blew up, the one of the first CEOs from Pershing Square to say, I want to know those names of those students. I don't want them to hide behind the organizations. I want to know their exact names so we don't hire them. Even he said, if they say they don't stand behind that statement, they say, oh, I didn't realize what I was saying, then okay, then they're not blacklisted. But if they really believe it, if they stand behind it, then let's know that. It's completely absurd to equate this to cancel culture. I understand what Vivek's coming from. I like Vivek Ramaswamy, do not support cancel culture. I don't think people should be generally fired for, points of view, particularly points of view set from, say, oh, we uncovered some tweet from 10 years ago. This is what we generally get with cancel culture. Oh, here's something that someone wrote when they were 17 years old and now they're 30 years old working at this company and now we're going to fire them. No, that's wrong, especially if they say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Of course, that's cancel culture. This is completely not that. And I also think there's a big distinction here that Vivek does not get to, which is that this is not Harvard kicking these people out or saying maybe we should arrest these people for this horrible points of view. No, that would be cancel culture. No, Harvard is saying these students are practicing their free speech, but others who are not associated with these students are saying, I don't want to be. I don't want to hire someone like that. And, frankly, there might be companies that want to hire those students. So there is a whole other point of view that say, these students are supporting points of view that I support, so I would actually want to hire them. And then we can go down the list of some companies that I think have shown themselves to be in that category. So no, this is not cancel culture. This is just the market working. And unlike what Vivek is trying to do, we want these students to speak. This is not, no one's saying shut them up. Everyone's saying let them speak, and then let's decide what to do after that.
Right, and if they're going to speak, let them identify themselves so people can know
Right.
who they are. Steve Krakauer, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.